Good afternoon. My name is Katie Terrell, and I'm happy to be here with you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Welcome to Transformation Thursdays, or Friday for this one, where we highlight some of our agency's powerful work in Northeast Louisiana. I lead our special initiatives here at Northeast Delta Human Services Authority, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to highlight them during this series. Our mission at Northeast Delta is to serve as a catalyst for individuals with mental health, developmental disabilities, and addictive disorders to help them realize their full human potential by offering quality, excellent care with greater accessibility. Our vision is to build a unified Northeast Louisiana where individuals are thriving and reaching their full human potential. The three tenets that guide our actions are greater access to services, excellent customer service, and quality, competent care. It is Friday, May 23rd, 2025. As I mentioned yesterday on Transformation Thursday, this is a big week at Northeast Delta HSA, so this is our second Transformation Thursday of the week. Today, I'm so excited to have an opportunity to talk about a partnership of ours that continues to grow. We make a concerted effort to form relationships with community partners that are doing good things in our community, and the Chennault Aviation and Military Museum is certainly one of those. I'm so thankful to have a special guest here with me today from the museum. Hollie Boudreaux is the director of the Chennault Aviation and Military Museum and has been a great advocate for veterans, first responders, and the family members of these two groups. Welcome, Hollie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Of course. So, Hollie, many people watching this might know Chennault as an aviation and military museum, but I know there is so much more going on at Chennault. So can you tell us a little bit more about the overall mission of the Chennault Museum?
So the mission was and still is and will always be to just honor and remember and support the veterans that have served this great country. And we do that by 11,000 artifacts in our building, continuously, free admission every day that we're open, Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 4. We will never charge admission. There's no price on the history and the sacrifice that these people have made. And so we're glad to be able to offer that for free. But in addition to just making sure that we remember and honor, and every day is Veterans Day, and the mural that we have outside of our building, we do so much. We offer PTSD clinics. We have a veterans closet. So if you need a job interview suit, or even you don't have any clothes and you need socks and underwear and toiletries, we offer that in our veterans closet. We do veterans oral history with the Library of Congress. We are Chapter 51 of the Disabled American Veterans chapter here. So we do veterans compensation and claims. They're responsible at this time for about $3 million annually in additional benefits for veterans in our area. So we do a lot, and we're always striving to add more on different things. We've had bread making PTSD class here. There's some discussion of maybe how to build a beehive and how to, keep yourself busy with that regard. And some of our PTSD classes that we're bringing in and adding on to are very near and dear to my heart. And I'm so excited that we have the ability to have this building and remember that history, honor these great people that have sacrificed so much, and then continue to outreach to the community.
Absolutely, yes. And Hollie recently kind of took me through the museum, and I had been to the museum a few times, but had never seen the full accessibility, at least inside. And just the amount of artifacts and just the amount of things that you have in that museum to really preserve and show our history is amazing. And it looks kind of small from the outside, but once you're inside, it really does look much bigger.
If we had $1 for everybody that said, wow, I had no idea how big it was in here, we probably could stop fundraising. We get travelers from all over the world. We're in a group called Harvest Host. It's an RV group, and they come by and they stay the night outside in their RV, and almost all of them come in, and they come from all over the country. Last month we had 28 states and 7 different countries that visited our museum. And what a great way to highlight to all of those visitors, the great sacrifice of, and this is Memorial Day weekend, so definitely the ones that have fallen, but also the ones that returned that maybe were not the same as when they left. But we even honor here so specifically the guy that wrote the payroll checks, or the people that made sure they had dry boots and socks. And so it really goes so much further to really understand and appreciate every single person that has ever chosen to serve all of the people without knowing them, and just not even probably understanding the full sacrifice of what they were fixing to do, but they did it for all of us. And so that's what we want to do here every day, is honor them.
Absolutely. I love how you were talking about honoring even those that might have been more behind the scenes, that might not have been the first person to get a thank you or the first person to get honored. So,
Right.
so the museum, I know just even based on our conversations also, seems to really work hard to meet the unique needs of veterans, their family members, and first responders. I know that you have started first responder programs or will be starting them soon. Can you tell us more about the support groups that are meeting at Chennault? I know you briefly mentioned it, but can you tell us a little bit more about them?
So we have had for several years a Veterans Helping Veterans, which is a veteran-led support group where it's mostly Vietnam and Korea veterans come, and they do it every other week, first and third Wednesdays of the month. It's here at 2:30. The group used to be much larger pre-COVID. It's gotten smaller now, but it's 10 to 15 depending on the week. So we do the Veterans Helping Veterans, and I'll tell this story very quickly, and I told it to you the other day. I really thought that when my husband came home from Iraq, we had done everything we could to shield our children from the change that, had taken place during my husband's service. And I didn't realize it until my oldest daughter was 20. I mean, you know that there's a sacrifice, there's change, but your kids are young, and I don't know that they realize it. But my oldest daughter was 20. So this was only 4 years ago. My husband had returned from Iraq in December of 2003. And so he'd been home 18 years. And my youngest daughter did something funny, and my husband laughed. And my oldest daughter, 20 years old, said, "I've never heard him laugh before." And that was a tell sign for me that I had already taken this position here, but that was the reason that I had done that, is to open up doors for the children and the spouses and maybe the parents or the brothers and sisters that are just trying to understand the uniqueness of the situation for those who serve in military or emergency responders. There's a piece of them that changes every accident they work and every period of time that they spend in a war zone. It changes who you are. And so we're so excited to bring in the family and spouse support group for veterans and first responders. And that will be starting in June. And then we also have a support group specifically meant for emergency responders or non-combat veterans, because PTSD from combat is very different, at least in their, in the people that have been through it. It's different. And so we want to offer a different experience. We have this great counselor that's come on board. His name is Sean Downhour, and he is donating at this time his time to be able to be here and to start these groups up. So the second Thursday is going to be the families of the vets and the first responders of the month here in Monroe. And the third Thursday is going to be for the responders. The fourth Thursday for more recent conflicts. So Iraq, Afghanistan, Desert Storm. So we're excited to bring those in. And we got so much response from the emergency responders that we've already started the mission to open this in Ruston. And so there's been some reach out for Union Parish and other parishes around the Ruston area. And so those will start in July. So we're super excited to be able to, just kind of bring this in. And it is very close to our hearts. I served as a daughter of a military person, as a granddaughter of a military nieces. My sister joined the military. I had planned to join the military. I had already started the process to sign up, and I met my husband, and things changed. But I was with my husband pre and post military service overseas. And so it's just pretty inspiring that we can bring this stuff here. But so we're starting those. It'll all be on our website under a Warrior Wellness tab here shortly. So go to our website and check out those, and please share and be involved. And, the only way we can truly help is to let people know that there are services out there for them. And it's normal and it's acceptable. And we're here to help you no matter what your circumstance is.
Amazing. Yeah, that is the same reason why we have the veteran initiative that we have. It's not that we're trying to be the solution for everyone. However, we do think that as a community, helping people understand that these services are available to them and that they're for them. We want veterans, family members, first responders to feel comfortable walking into our clinics, to feel comfortable, as y'all do, walking into the museum and just meeting with a group of peers that are really strangers maybe to them at the beginning, but feeling that comfort level to do that is so important. And yes, I so agree that community members who didn't serve or aren't family members, aren't going to understand fully that experience. However, I do think there's so much with trying to build that community support by creating a greater understanding and support, so that even if it's not a firsthand experience, it's still this community that's working together to get people the help that they need and that they might be hesitant to ask for. So yes, thank you so much, Holly, for explaining that. So kind of building on that just a little bit, why is it so important for veterans and their family members to reach out if they need help?
I think the number is up to 22 plus a day that take their own life for whatever reason, for whatever they brought home with them, for whatever they live with every day. And I think that there are so many people that are willing to help. We have the VFW in town. We have the American Legion. We have the museum. We have you guys. We have so many areas of opportunities. But these are proud people. They were proud to serve their country. They were proud to do whatever it takes to make sure that those that they love and those that they have never met live in a country that is free. And I don't think that everybody understands that sacrifice. Daily and emergency responders are in the military. And I think it's so important for people to know that it's okay. Like there is a price that was paid, whether it was an arm, an eye, or something else that you can't see. And I think that it's so hard for us to look at those people and say, it's okay, how can I help you? But in return, it's 10 times harder for them to say, I need that help. Something's not right. It's not the same as it was. This is affecting me. And there's this place where you have to go back to personal experience. My husband did not want help. He did not want to be changed. He didn't want to be injured. He wanted to come back and be the same person that left. And unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. But you're talking about the strongest people in this country and the people that stood up and were prepared to do whatever it takes, so that it then turn around and go, I need some help and I need some assistance. That is not who these people are. And so the only way to do that is to make it normal that we are here to help. How can we assist you? This is something that we offer. And I think that's the reason it's so important to continue to bring different things to light in the community that is supportive of all of those. We don't always understand the exact reasons or we didn't experience, I didn't go to Iraq, my husband did, but I understand the wife and I understand the child. But there's people here that are here all the time that they understand that connection. They understand what the first responder is going through. And I think it's so important to start that conversation and to have that conversation here as often as we possibly can, to stop any of them to think that they're alone, and to how can we bring that back to make sure they know that it is okay and we're all here to support them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think as soon as we start having these conversations, not about there being something wrong, but instead just wanting to get to be a better human being, and it really being that all of us can benefit, that it's not something, everyone has unique experiences that are going to lead to unique needs, but that doesn't mean that we all don't need help in some way. And so trying to take that stigma of raising your hand and saying, oh, there's something wrong, I think is so important. Instead, let's just build a community. Let's build support groups. Let's, normalize walking into a behavioral health clinic and saying, hey, I'm okay, but I think I could be better. So yeah, I love that.
That is one of the most profound things that in this process, Sean Downhour, in our first meet and greet, he said, sometimes a support group shouldn't be about getting better. It should be about having the best life that you can have. And maybe we need to recognize that there's a challenge here, whether it has anything to do with any of this or not. Potentially there's a challenge, and I'd like to live a better life. It doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that maybe we can help provide an opportunity together to live a better life. And that's the goal.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. I think we could go back and forth on that for a long time. I can tell how passionate you are about it, which is great. So, events are a way to build community within the veteran community, and we're partnering on an event at Chennault on Saturday, May 31st. It's called Neighbors in Service. It's a veterans tribute event. Why is it so important to partner with organizations in the community for events such as this?
I think it's important for everybody in this community to know that there's a need, and that there are people that are trying to do something about it. So for so long, especially for Vietnam and Korea and, even probably Desert Storm, I don't know that people understood that there was a need, but there's also a need to say thank you and appreciate you and build together. But there's so many people, and I meet them all the time. And I am very passionate about how can we make a better life for those that have given so much. But there are so many of me. There's the Chris Le Guin at the VFW, the people at the American Legion, the people in our DAV chapter, the people that walk the halls of this museum every day. They all feel that appreciation and support and care and concern for these veterans. How great is it to know that all of these people are willing to stand up for you and for the service that you were willing to stand up for us. Now let us all stand up and be together in the community for you. And I think that's so important to show that collaboration, that it's not just the museum, it's not just HSA, it's not just the VFW, but together, maybe I can't help build a wheelchair ramp, but I know that Chris and the VFW, they do that. And the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, so together, what a great world that we could turn this into for us all to work together to make sure we're all taken care of better. And that's what's important about it.
Yeah, well, even just planning this event, like you and Chennault, y'all have been so helpful. Chris has been partnering with us from the VFW. He's been so helpful. He's been spreading the word for a month now, so it's just great that it's not, you don't have to talk someone in to helping you spread the word about an event for veterans. It's going to help celebrate them. And it's an amazing community to be a part of. We're glad to be partnering with y'all on it. So I know that you guys also have an event coming up this Saturday. I know it's kind of short notice, but can you tell us if anyone's watching and they haven't heard of it yet, or they're interested and haven't signed up, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So Memorial Day is so important. And so this is the 13th year that we will have a 5K race and a 1K walk here at the museum. And more than anything, I don't run a 5K, probably should. I don't. But we have these great group of volunteers. They come in, but the last leg, it's probably an eighth of a mile, is just filled with American flags. If you want to feel patriotic on Memorial Day weekend, run just the last leg. I don't know if you can do that, but just run through the last leg that's full of American flags. So that's on our website too, chennaultmuseum.org. They have a great t-shirt that comes along with it. But it's just this moment to start the Memorial Day weekend off really appreciating and honoring the sacrifice that they have made. And we are open on Memorial Day. We're normally not open on Mondays, but we are open every Memorial Day here. So even if you can't come to the race, but you want to spend part of Memorial Day weekend, instead of it just being a vacation, if you want to honor those, then, come to the museum and look at the stories of service that we have here that span back to the Civil War. In some cases, we have parts of that, but we also have parts of World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Desert Storm, 9/11. Selman Field, which was the largest navigation school of World War II, is right here in Monroe. We're in the last building that remains of the largest navigation school of World War II. And then we have the Chennault Room, which a lot of people don't understand Chennault's sacrifice and his affiliation with China. And we all understand that it's a little different now, but the American Volunteer Group saved millions of people in China before America's involvement in World War II. But we tell all of those stories here, And then we have very neat airplanes outside that you can, walk around and really experience that. So if you're looking for something to do Memorial Day weekend, we have the 5K, and we have we'll be open on Memorial Day, and we do events all year. We have Veterans Day. It'll be our 25th anniversary of the museum. We have a military band coming for that day. We do a military retirement ceremony. So follow us on Facebook or go to our website. We are constantly bringing air show, hot air balloon, and it all just is meant to bring awareness, appreciation, and to raise money for us to continue to do some of the projects that we do here.
Yes, I think that just follows right along with the mural that's at the museum, that every day is Veterans Day, and that there's always something going on through the museum, at the museum, to celebrate veterans and their family members, and again, help the community feel welcome to be around veterans, their family members, and events that we have going on to support them.
For sure. Memorial Day is definitely something special, and we want to honor, that service all of the time. But that is our logo. That's our motto. It's literally 800 feet long on the side of our building, that every day that should be the job of every American. It's just to support and appreciate the veterans that have sacrificed so much. And as long as we keep saying it, somebody will listen. So
absolutely. So Hollie, if people want to connect with you at Chennault or just the museum as a whole, what is the best way for them to do so?
So we have a website, chennaultmuseum.org. We also have Facebook. Chennault Museum, I think, is how you can go to it. We post on it quite often. We do a weekly discussion, coffee with the curator, about stuff that's going on as well. And then call us. Come by the museum. We're free. 318-362-5540 is the phone number. We're always here to help in whatever way, facilitate any need that you can. And we had somebody call last week that had a wheelchair they didn't need anymore. We called Chris. He found somebody that needed a wheelchair. So if you have any questions, you need to drop off clothes, you need clothes. You want to do your oral history so that generations from now can hear your story of what you did. That's what we're here for. So come see us, call us, go to the website, go to the Facebook page. However we can help, we're here to do that.
Well, I highly recommend going and checking out the museum if you haven't. I need to go back when I have hours worth of time to go through every section because, like I said, there's a lot of things to look through and so much history. And yes, I highly recommend it. And I'm going to go back and spend hours there whenever I have the time to do so.
Come see us. We have 11,000 artifacts. We have the last emperor's robe of China here. We have Tojo. And if you don't know who that is, he was an integral part of World War II. We have one of the two pistols that he was arrested with. We have Tuskegee Airmen. We have families of service. We have so many things in this museum that mean something to the people that served and all of the people that come here every day. So come see us. 10,000 square foot. It's not little, I promise. It's much bigger than it looks from the outside. 11,000 artifacts in the building. And just celebrate with us and celebrate these veterans that have done so much for you.
Well, as you can see, many amazing things are happening at the Chennault Aviation and Military Museum. We are again so grateful to be hosting a Veterans Tribute event there on Saturday, May 31st. The event will be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will be providing free barbecue meals to the first 200 registrants. So please register today to secure your meal ticket. There will also be a live band. We will have a few speakers. We will also have a few vendors, and we will have yard games. So it'll be a fun, family-friendly event. We encourage anyone, whether you're a veteran, a family member of a veteran, or just someone in the community that supports veterans, we really encourage you to come and attend, and you can go in and check out the museum while you're there as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in today. Thank you to our wonderful guest, Miss Hollie Boudreaux. If these topics interest you, I encourage you to attend the Run for the Red, White, and Blue this Saturday and our Neighbors in Service tribute event on May 31st, both at Chennault. If you want more information about our services, please visit our website at nedeltahsa.org or call 800-256-2522. You can also follow the Phoenix on social media through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and TikTok at NEDeltaHSA. All right, everybody, go be great today, and we will see you next time.